Today, the XFL storms into the Pacific Northwest, in a place that knows a little something about winning football.
Ambition, dog. Bite down on 3. Let's go.
Two teams who have turned the page on week 1.
Seattle Dragons.
Run this time. Run this. Determined to get their franchise that first dub.
No better feeling than getting the first one under your belt.
What a play.
It's the XFL, baby. Let's go.
No excuses. No shortcuts. Trust your brothers and get the job done.
Come on, crazy today.
If you really want to make a name for yourself in this league, you better strap up, lock in, and always keep your head on the swivel, baby.
Big hit.
More exciting football at the most exciting time.
Week 2 is here. Who's going to show out today? It's the Dragons and the Vipers. Right now, Fox.
To finish it off, we got to be a team that plays smart and has poise in the noise today, and we got to do it how? We got to do it together.
Trust each other, all right? And we'll come out with a victory, all right? Hey, let's go out and beat them. Come on, let's go out and beat these Vipers. Come on in, come on in.
Was the first quarterback of a professional football team in Seattle. Now he's the head coach of the newest football team in Seattle as the hometown Dragons open up in front of what is expected to be 30,000 fans hosting the Tampa Bay Vipers here in week 2 of the XFL on Fox. Now, Zorn is a Seattle football legend. There will be many throughout the contest who are here inside the stadium, including Steve Largent, the Hall of Famer, who will light the cauldron to get the Dragon fans fired up. While he does that, we welcome you here to week 2 of the XFL on Fox. He's waiting for the signal from his quarterback, I think.
Every home game, we will light the Dragons' cauldron. This eternal flame will burn bright each game in honor of you, our fans. Today we start this tradition with a special guest who has been an area legend since arriving in Seattle from the University of Tulsa back in 1976. A 7-time Pro Bowl wide receiver who held every major NFL receiving record upon his retirement in 1989. His number was retired by the Seahawks in 1992. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1995. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome number 80, Steve Largent.
Worth the wait.
That's right.
Welcome to the broadcast booth. Kurt Menefee alongside Joel Platt. Brock Hewitt is down on the sideline. He'll be with us in just a second. And you can feel the excitement here, not only because of the cauldron lighting, but really all over. The buzz has been huge after the opening weekend last week for the XFL.
I thought it was threefold, really. It was the excitement of the fans, both at home on television and in these venues. You can feel it. I thought it was also the reception of these innovations as well as the tweaks to the rules. Widely praised and rightly so. And then ultimately, Kurt, it had to be about the football, and the football showed up. A couple of the leaders from week 1. Matt Jones was the leading rusher in the XFL, 85 yards for St. Louis. We had P.J. Walker down in Houston. He was sensational. 4 touchdown passes to 4 different players. Dan Williams, who we'll see in this game, 123 yards receiving, as well as Austin Prohl, who we'll have in this game, 2 receptions for touchdowns last week. I thought the play on the field was tremendous, and that's what ultimately is going to carry this league through.
One of the guys that you did not mention who was a star last week, the quarterback who threw those 2 touchdown passes for the Seattle Dragons. You take a look at Brandon Silvers, actually threw 3 in that game.
Brandon Silvers is a really good player. I can't wait to watch him play. He actually had a really good game against DC last week, but it was a defensive score, or excuse me, a special team score they gave up, as well as a pick 6 that ultimately did them in. If they clean those things up, this is a very good team led by their quarterback, Brandon Silvers. On the other side, Tampa Bay, they'll be going with a new quarterback here in week 2. Aaron Murray, who was their opening day starter last week in New York, he's down with an injury, so it's Taylor Cornelius, who had 13 career starts at Oklahoma Oklahoma State. He's 6'6", big frame. He can really spin it. I expect Tampa's offense to be much better than the version we saw last week when they only scored 3 points against the Guardians.
All right, 2 quarterbacks you just talked about. I've got a quarterback beside me, and there are 2 more standing down there. Brock Heward with the Seattle Seahawks, first quarterback ever, now the coach of the Seattle Dragons, Jim Zorn.
Yeah, thank you, Kurt. Coach Zorn, you said on a couple different occasions you didn't know what football in the Pacific Northwest would look and feel like in mid-February. What are you seeing?
Oh, I love this, and this is normal weather, but I was super impressed with how many fans showed up in this kind of weather. Our guys have practiced in it. Now we get to play in it.
Let's go kick it off. Good luck, Coach.
Well, Jim Zorn mentioned typical Seattle weather in February. That's exactly what we got. I think bright skies is what they call it here locally. Expect some showers throughout the day. Tampa Bay comes into this one as the betting favorite provided by Fox Bet in what they expect to be a fairly low-scoring game. And keep in mind, you can win money playing XFL Super 6. Just download the Fox Sports Super 6 app and play for free for your chance to win $10,000.
Tightest line of the weekend in the XFL. Tampa Bay by 1. Let's see how it plays out.
All right, here's a reminder for those of you that have seen this before and those of you watching for the first time. The kickoff just a little bit different here in the XFL.
That's right. As you saw last week, this is one of the best innovations that the XFL has. The kickoff here. Now the players will not move until that ball is caught. And let's get it on.
Matt Brown gets it started for the Vipers, and Brown across the 25-yard line, and that's where we will begin playing football here in week 2. Taylor Cornelius, the starting quarterback. Aaron Murray started last week, injured his foot, didn't practice all week, and so now Cornelius is the man.
As Mike Gundy from Oklahoma State likes to call him, Corn Dog.
Yeah.
3,900 passing yards in 2018, 4th most in FBS. He was in rookie minicamp with the Green Bay Packers in 2019. Also, watch out for Dan Williams on the outside, number 81, quite a threat.
First play of the game from the 28. Cornelius to the air right away, and out of the hands, incomplete. Reese Horn.
This offense led the league in total yards, even though they only scored 3 points. It was really, as their coach Mark Trestman called it to us, 80% great, 20% failure. Too many turnovers, poor play in the red zone. They've got to clean up those areas if they need to or can get to a win here today.
3 wide receivers to the right. Draw play on first down, a little handoff. Taken by Devion Smith, and he gets out to about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and Kurt, this defense, they played really well last week, the Seattle defense against D.C., and we saw D.C. and how well they played in that game just before us. But this defense at every level, they have aggressive players. They're going to be sitting in a cover 2 or 4 shell with the middle of the field open with 2 safeties back. The reason they can do that is because their front is very athletic, they're very strong, and they genuinely stop the run very well up front, even out of that 2 safety look. It's something to watch for as this game plays on.
First third down of the contest, looking for the 38-yard line. Cornelius over the middle, he's got a man over through Nick Truesdale. Truesdale had a step on the defense.
He sure did, and he made a nice little adjustment at the second level. Watch, he's going to go up, and then he's going to curve back to the inside. Cornelius has got to make that throw. You've got those 2 safeties that I just talked about. They were wide. Truesdale exploits the middle of the field. Cornelius has got to hit him there for a first down.
So the first punt. Tampa Bay's Jake Shum kicking it off. Austin Kroll back deep. Kroll had those 2 touchdown receptions along with 88 yards last week. Takes this one at the 15. Flags down right after the tackle. Micah Hanneman on the stop. There's a look at Brandon Silvers as he's ready to come out. Just have to figure out where he'll start from.
As these officials discuss this, that's another thing I wanted to compliment from week 1. These officials did such a good job with
Okay,
some of these
so we're going to go 10 yards on the end of the kick. Yep. During the kick, holding, receiving team number 1. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick, first down.
So Alonzo Moore called for the penalty. That'll back them up even more into their territory. And Silvers is ready to take over.
Yeah, Brandon Silvers played his college football at Troy. If you remember, that was a Troy team coached by Neil Brown that went in and beat LSU in Baton Rouge, in Death Valley. 87 total touchdowns at Troy, most in school history. Every coach that we've talked to, whether it's the coaches here for Seattle or even the coaches on the other sideline like Jerry Glanville, the defensive coordinator, they all said the same thing. This guy sits in the pocket very strong and is not bothered with some of that traffic around him. That's one of the things Tampa Bay really stresses. They want to get to him and try to get him on the ground early.
Yeah, they love his toughness. Handoff on the first play. Jaquan Gardner with the run. Both these teams ran the football effectively last week.
They did, and I'm interested to see how this Seattle team deals with some injuries. They're up front playing with 3 starters out of their offensive line. The only guys that are really playing in their natural positions are guys like William Campbell, the left guard, Quintarius Eatman, the right tackle. So Jim Zorn's going to have to maneuver some things around, manufacture some offense with those injuries up front.
Go.
2nd and 5.
Blue 80. Hut.
Here comes the pressure. Quick pass. Caught. Dantes Bird. Pardon me, that's Keenan Reynolds with the reception and a first down for the Dragons.
I love Keenan Reynolds and his story. That's right, from Navy. You remember he rushed for more touchdowns in his career than anybody in college football history. And he's going against a defense that led the league last week for Jerry Glanville in total defense. This is a defense that is very aggressive in the secondary. They're fast and quick up front. What you need to watch for is that in the secondary, they try to cut routes and they will try to jump routes. So watch for double moves and big plays later in the game.
Gardner again, nowhere to go. Dropped in the backfield for a loss. That thing was bottled up right away. Ricky Walker, the first guy there, but a whole lot of guys in white and green.
Yeah, this is a defense that played really well last week against the New York Guardians, but because of those turnovers and lack of red zone success from their offense, it didn't show up for them on the scoreboard. They led the league in rush defense, pass defense, total defense, third down defense. Got to the quarterback 5 times, so they're trying to build on what was already a very successful opening week.
2nd and long. Pitch, and absolutely nowhere to go again. This time, Trey Williams stopped. Marcellus Branch caught him in the backfield.
Big third down, and this is where this aggressive defense really makes its money, because on 3rd and long, now Jerry Glanville, who loves this man coverage style cut defense in the secondary, he can have at his disposal any type of pressure and try to light up Brandon Silvers, get the ball out of his hand as quickly as possible.
You've got to get it all the way to the 29-yard line. Let's hand it off instead. Little draw play. Kenneth Farrell, and he is lit up. I mean, he wasn't going anywhere beforehand, but Marcellus Branch made sure.
Up from that safety spot, too. He flew up there. Mark Trestman's got to be happy with the way that defense came out on the opening series. Bit of a safe play call there from Jim Zorn, and I'm sure we've had some moisture here, as you would expect in the wintertime in Seattle. I wonder if that played a part in why Jim Zorn played it a little bit safe there on the opening series.
So Brock Miller comes on to punt it away. Dante dive, deep man, short kick. Going to be good field position for Tampa, although Guy slipped. He had running room, but wrong cleats apparently. So 41 yards on the punt, nothing on the return, and it'll be the 2nd possession of the game for Cornelius and the Vipers. Well, each team has had the ball once. Each team has punted so far in this 2nd game of the XFL season, and 2nd game of the day. In fact, earlier, the DC Defenders, led by another good performance from Cardell Jones, shut out the New York Guardians 27-0. They are 2-0 right now.
Yeah, and that team is a couple of home games, defending their home turf, if you will, and they look to be one of the better teams in the XFL here in the early going.
We expected them to be good offensively, but they performed well on the defensive side both weeks. Taylor Cornelius, that one too low. W. Smith out of the backfield, incomplete.
It's a couple of misses now for Cornelius. He's got to settle down a little bit. He missed Truesdale right down the middle on the previous series, opening series of the game, and there, that's just an easy check down. I just wonder how that grip of the football is working out for a guy that has not practiced all week in the rain.
Down in Tampa as he hands off to Deion Smith. Cornelius has had a chance to practice all week. We mentioned Aaron Murray not going at all. So he knew early on in the week that he would get a chance this week.
I think that they need to lean on the offensive line a little bit. It's an athletic offensive line that can move. They've got some good backs. And they're not going to be able to do it here on a third down. So that's something that they need to get going early in this game.
3rd and 6. Got a man caught. Dan Williams, first down, Vipers. Right at the midfield stripe, and he was a surprise for this team last week. Led the league with 123 receiving yards.
I love what they do here. It's just a clear out from that side, and then you're going to get the route slipped underneath that. Man coverage, great read from Cornelius, and then he's able to finally put it on the money right there on the face mask of Dan Williams. And like you said, a surprise for them, but a very good player. Big frame, over 6'2", 200 pounds on the outside.
Gain of 7. Cornelius under center this time. Off the play fake, all kinds of time. Throws, hit as he throws, and that causes the interception. Jeremy Clark with the pick. First turnover of the ball game for either squad. This hometown Seattle team going crazy.
Huge mistake for Cornelius here. They're trying to get a big over route run and trying to get the ball to Nick Truesdale, the tight end. Cornelius got caught up, and then at the last second he panicked. Right here they're trying to get a clear out, and then they're trying to get the tight end all the way back here. Watch as this over route, and right when he gets hit, he just kind of throws it in between them. That ball either has to go over to the sideline or out of bounds if he's trying to throw it away. But fortunately for Seattle's sake, Jeremy Clark was right there, right place, right time, and he's able to pick it off, and the turnovers show up again for Tampa Bay. That was a huge problem for him in week 1. Turned it over 3 times against New York.
From the 38-yard line. Good starting field position. Brandon Silver's the quarterback. Here comes the blitz. He gets rid of it quickly. A little miscommunication with Austin Prohl.
Looked like he was looking for a side adjust. Brock, I don't know if you were able to see there, but it looked like Silver saw the blitz, and he was expecting Prohl to cut off his route for a little side adjust there.
It's interesting, Joel. I'm sitting right here with Jim Zorn, and he called that. He said they're going to bring a pressure right off the edge. To your point, that's exactly where he wanted to go, but receiver quarterback not on the same page.
Go! Blue 80! Blue 80! Hunt!
Silver under pressure, escapes, keeps his eyes downfield, and he is picked off. Now they're calling it incomplete, saying the ball hit the ground first. DeVaris McFadden thought he had the interception.
Boy, McFadden did a great job undercutting that route. Silvers kept himself alive, and it looked like he was trying to find Bird down the field. Did this one hit the ground? Yeah, excellent call by the officials. As you can see, right through his hands, McFadden was not able to corral that. And Seattle gets away with one, but now here a 3rd down, and you just wonder, they went safe on the first 3rd down of the game. What are they going to do here? Going against a very interesting and unique style of defense.
Especially after an almost interception. Here's Silvers, flushed out of the pocket. Throwing on the line, overthrows Keenan McReynolds.
Great pocket presence again. We saw him escape to the right side on the previous play. Here he steps straight up. Jim Zorn's going to talk to him a little bit because he just needs to calm down.
Don't even hesitate. Get upfield. I can call 3rd and medium. Right, you had 6 yards. On this one, you had the Saturn on the outside over here because the best look side is the guy way off. You made a nice play. You just got to make the throw. All right, let's go.
Oh, great coaching right there. I love it. Jim Zorn, not upset, not frustrated, just taking him through that sequence.
This time, Dante Dye holds on to the football, but doesn't go anywhere afterwards. Noah Borden, the long snapper, getting downfield, making the tackle, and we will see what the Vipers can do with the ball once more. After the turnover the last time they had it, the defense made the stop. Quentin Flowers now in the quarterback for Tampa Bay. This is an expected change of pace. They'd like to bring him in. He's a more mobile kind of running quarterback. And you see what he did last week. And throw him in for a couple of plays. He's in right now in place of Taylor Cornelius.
He said he's not just in to run the football, but that's certainly what he does best.
Jacquez Patrick takes the handoff.
Flowers was so good at South Florida during his career. Second highest QBR in the country in 2016 behind the eventual #1 pick, Baker Mayfield. There's Cornelius on the sideline, but Quentin Flowers certainly an athletic player that can get the job done. And they do like his ability to throw from the pocket. I'm sure we're about to see it maybe on this play.
He throws it. A little short pass to Jalen Tolliver. Tolliver slips a tackle. Gets out about a yard short of that first down marker.
I've always thought that when you're thinking about play sequencing, when you've got a guy like Flowers who's so electric with his feet, what you've got to do is stay on schedule so that his feet can always be a threat.
They roll him right. Flowers keeps it. Didn't get the first down, though. Or did he? Got a good spot there.
Good spot, and that's exactly what I'm talking about right there, is staying on schedule so that you can run a little bit of a boot action, get him outside of the pocket. Now he can run it, he can throw it to the tight end who is out in front of him, but you keep yourself open to the option of using his feet throughout the set of downs. It's imperative to stay on schedule, see if they run the ball here.
They hand it off. Jacquez Patrick slipping tackles. And Patrick going to get another first down. And not only are they running the ball better, but it seems as though the tempo has picked up a little bit. The pacing.
Tempo certainly has picked up. You're exactly right. Patrick did a great job of cutting away from the defender right there. Number 51 was in the backfield, and he stepped away from him beautifully. That was Martin Ogoiki, who was in the backfield, and Patrick just stepped out of that tackle, got up the field.
Gain of 12.
First down.
12-yard pickup to the 46. Flowers, quick pass. Tolliver. Met behind the line of scrimmage. Mohamed Cisse on the stop. Used to play with the Seahawks, so he's been in the stadium once or twice.
Great job by Cisse, getting himself back into the backfield, even though it was on the outside, and creating a tackle for loss there. Now it was in that situation I was just saying they had to avoid. Now they're in that second long off schedule. Now you got to see whether Flowers can get half of this back with his arm, or they're going to stick with this balanced attack.
Two tight ends in for the Vipers. They hand it off. Patrick around the edge. Good job in the open field by Nick Temple to drag him out of bounds.
Let's see what Mark Trestman decides to go with.
All right, 7. All right, here we go. Let's go nickel, Finn right. Finn right, 366 Sarah, X Harvey through. 366 Sarah, X Harvey through.
366 is the protection. Finn right's the formation. X Harvey through. X Harvey means they're trying to single up down here at some point.
Play clock winding down to get it off. Flowers wide open. Shantavius Jones, and that will move the chains all the way to the 40-yard line of the Dragons. 12 yards.
Good route on the outside. Watch as he forces up the field, gets the cornerback's hips turned, then he drops out of it. The timing was perfect from Flowers, who's looking that way the entire time. The reason he can look that way the entire time and not get in trouble with his eyes is because that is a singled up receiver. The X tag, it was X Harvey through the concept, which means if he has one-on-one, he's going to take that all day long. It's a one-man progression, and he hit him for a first down.
On the keeper, Flowers caught in the backfield. Great job, Steven Johnson. Their leading tackler in week 1, starting off right here in week 2. Loss of 4.
Great job by this defense. Looking like a little bit of a zone read, and they just kind of turned that over to the linebacker. I love what Steven Johnson does there. When you got an athletic quarterback, you've got to change his read there. So the defensive end crashes all the way down. The linebacker loops around, so you're giving him the illusion that he needs to pull that ball and be a runner, and yet you're putting a defender right in his face at the same time.
Johnson, the guy who started 3 years, or played 3 years with the Denver Broncos.
Looks like it was a delay.
They've been close a couple of times.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Now keep in mind, 25-second play clock here in the XFL. So comes up a little faster than some people are used to.
Shouldn't bother Mark Trestman, because remember, he's been in Canada for so long. They have a 20-second play clock, so the tempo shouldn't bother.
78 Yoga double go.
You got go routes on the outside. Both guys are going to be running go routes on the outside. You got to pick your matchup. I would expect he's going to come down here at the bottom of your screen with this go route.
Looking, putting it down and running, directing traffic. Flowers gets back some of that yardage out across the 40-yard line, and he shows you the dual threat and what the pressure it puts on the defense, really.
Didn't like it. Wanted to throw that go route to the left side, and then he saw all that green turf in front of him and decided to take off. That's exactly what Jim Zorn was telling Silvers he wanted him to do on second down. Go create a second and short, or in this case, third and medium. Now Flowers has only got 7 yards to get a conversion here. On the plus side of the 40, this is absolutely 4-down territory here for Tampa.
10th play of the drive. Flowers stepping up and just misfired on that one. Reese Horn, the intended receiver.
With the touchback rules, how they are in the XFL, if you punt this and it goes in the end
We'll
zone,
go
comes
for
out
it.
to the 35, that's why they're going to go for it. That's why it's 4-down territory.
All right, here we go. Nickel in the game.
Comes out to the 35.
Nickel in the game. Fuji right. Fuji right. 66 Chiefs chop. 66 Chief chop.
I love the language of football. Here we go. Flowers got to make a good decision and a good throw here.
Needing the 30. Here comes the pressure. Flowers caught in the backfield and sacked. Miles Morgan along with Steve Williams, and it'll be a turnover on down.
Yeah, and a huge mistake there from Flowers. When you're on a 4th down, that ball has got to come out of your hand. The worst thing that you can possibly do there is take a sack. Even if you throw a pick, you're gaining the yardage of the pick. You can't take a sack at that point. He's got to throw that ball away, even though it's on the 4th down. And there for Seattle, their defensive coordinator, Clayton Lopez, loves what he sees as his defense, with the pressure, is able to get to Flowers in the backfield.
All right, so the Seattle defense, an interception the last time they were on the field. This time, a turnover on downs. Let's see if their offense can take advantage of it. Brandon Silvers back in the quarterback, starting at his own 46-yard line. Handed off to Trey Williams. Williams fighting his way to midfield. Good second effort.
I think the backs need to be a bigger part of the Seattle game plan. Tampa runs a really aggressive style of coverage, and it's very unique. But one thing that they have is genuinely man coverage on the backs with their linebackers. Jerry Glanville knows it. I think Seattle knows it. I think that's where Seattle is better and can possibly take advantage of this Vipers defense.
Play fake here. Silvers crawling. I don't know if he lost his footing or decided it was easier to go low or what. Ricky Walker bringing the pressure. And they'll bring up 3rd down.
Dialed up the right pressure at the right time. And now another 3rd down. They've had plenty of them here for Jim Zorn.
40. Hey, 21-8. On, ready? Hey, 40.
0 for 2 on 3rd downs today.
Hey, 45, somebody working 41.
You assume this is 4th down territory, so don't even need to get all of it. Just get some of it. Make it a more manageable 4th down. Silvers. Downfield, incomplete. In the direction of Keenan Reynolds. So far, Silver's just off the mark. 1 for 5 in this first quarter.
Everyone talks about Silver's ability to be accurate from the pocket, but one thing that he has shown today is that he is not accurate when he's on the move outside of the pocket as we hit the end of the quarter here in Seattle. No score. Defenses playing well, playing aggressive. We've seen a turnover, some sacks. These guys are flying around. No score. Vipers, Dragons. Opening weekend for the Seattle Dragons in Century League Field.
Well, the defense defenses have been in control through one quarter here in the second week of the XFL season. Home opener for the Seattle Dragons, Tampa Bay Vipers, and Seattle Dragons. No score thus far. Kurt Menefee along with Joel Klatt up in the booth. Brock Hewitt down on the field. All of us having a good time here in front of the biggest crowd we've had so far in the XFL season. They've been into this.
There's a buzz in the city earlier today. We drove in about 3.5 hours before the game, and around the corner walked 3 grown men in dragon costumes. And I was like, okay, now it's a party.
I hate to tell you, that's a normal Saturday in Seattle, though. Game or not. And that punt goes out of bounds, so according to XFL rules, that will be spotted because it's inside the 35, back out at the 35-yard line. So this will be good starting field position for the Vipers.
Yeah, huge mistake, and that's what, you know, it's so important, the kicking game, even though we don't have a lot of, you know, no extra points kicked and things of that nature. You're not going to see a ton of punts, but the mistakes that the kickers make are going to be so punitive, and we see the fruit of that for Tampa Bay right here, getting the first down at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, any ball that's punted that goes out of bounds inside the 35 will be brought back out to the 35. So you're guaranteed at least that if the ball goes out of bounds. Obviously, if it's short of the 35, you get in a better field position. So see what Taylor Cornelius can do now that he's back in the quarterback. And he pitches it to Patrick. Going nowhere. Steven Johnson again, and he, along with a lot of those guys in this Seattle defense, have been in the backfield of Tampa most of the day.
Yeah, and Steven Johnson had 9 tackles, 2 of them behind the line of scrimmage last week, team high against that DC team, and he was flying around and got in there quickly on that run play as Tampa Bay shuffles between quarterbacks.
He's got 3 tackles already today. Loss of a yard. Quick pass, Cornelius. That's taken by Reese Horn. Short pickup on the play. Jeremy Clark on the stop.
Clark did a great job slipping the block on the outside. You cannot run those little bubble screens on the outside if the corners are being unblocked and your wide receivers can't block them. And now this crowd, which is 30,000, starting to come alive, making it tough on Tampa Bay to hear the snap count and things on this field.
Here comes the blitz. Sacked. Cornelius had no chance. Steve Williams again.
Lined up over the slot player. There he is. And he's just going to come straight in, get to Cornelius. Cornelius never saw him. His eyes are on the opposite side. And he's able to get a free run on the quarterback. And again, the defense is playing well, getting pressure on these guys, not allowing them to be comfortable and get the ball down the field.
2 sacks on the day for this Dragons defense. Williams has 1.5. Miller with the punt. Austin Poole running start, catches it, makes a move. Boy, he had a shot to turn it into a big one. Run out of bounds just across the 40 at the 42 is where they will spot it. This Dragons defense giving its offense every opportunity in the world. We'll see if they can capitalize this time. When we're done here, the Super Middleweight Championship is coming up on Fox. Undefeated Caleb Sweethands Plant defends his title against KO King Vincent Feigenboots. All the hard-hitting action begins next on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Just over 2 minutes into this second quarter. No score in what really has turned into a defensive battle.
Seattle, 11 plays, 12 yards so far.
Silvers.
Bingo, bingo.
From the 40. Threw that behind Reynolds. Brock Hewitt. It feels like a defensive battle up here. There's a flag down on the play right now. But what's it feel like to you down there?
Oh, there's no question about it. Jerry Glanville, I'm standing right behind that last defensive call, BTF.
Defense number 41. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that was a roughing the passer call on Terrence Plummer. Go ahead, Brock.
Yeah, BTF, and he told me, I don't know what the call is going to be. The players don't until Seattle lines up. It is blitz the formation. So he simply calls in BTF, blitz the formation. and then whatever blitz they have that week dialed up for that formation, that's what's coming. And if I'm Jerry Glanville, I'm continuing to pressure until Seattle proves they can find an answer.
A little too aggressive that time on defense with the personal foul. Gives him 15 yards out to the 44-yard line, but an interesting strategy, Bob. Taken by Jaquan Gardner. What do you think of that, Joel?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you see that style a lot. You know, defenses have to be reactive, and that's the nature of defense. You're either going to call the strength.
Odd four.
You know, that's why you have short play called odd four. Okay, so odd means you're going to play the odd front. They know they're going to try to align to the strength. Four is the coverage call in the back end. His cover four is different than other people's cover four, but it's just a very simple call.
Gardner again runs through the hole and gets the first down.
This is a nice little drive from Seattle, and Jim Zorn found something, and sometimes it can be a penalty that jumpstarts you. You know, any momentum that you can get offensively, and Seattle has not had much, and Zorn gets it through that penalty.
6 yards on that run. Now it's the 34. Best penetration of the game for either team.
Georgia. Go.
The handoff Gardner again. This time couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Caught in the backfield. Nikita Whitlock with the stop.
Let's see what Jim Zorn goes with here on the second
Y
down.
left, 22 zip bubble. Double right off, Y left, 22 zip bubble. They were way off last time. Let's see if they do it again.
Watch for the little bubble screen to the bottom of your screen. You're going to get motion right here, and then you're going to try to maybe throw a little bubble screen.
There it is, and Boyle lost his footing. That's a couple of times we've seen him do that tonight.
I want to go totem right, F off, F left, totem right, F off, F left, 31 ace shingle find, 31 ace shingle find.
Hey, 31 ace, on, ready.
He says a lot of words, Silver says few.
Well, because he only needs to tell the offensive line what they need. 31 ace is the protection.
Bruce Silver's on third down. Reynolds moves the chains down to the 20-yard line. They needed 11. They got 13.
Nice play there from Silvers. Good timing. Reynolds, great route, found an opening, and then Silvers is able to put it on his frame for an easy first down. Reynolds is showing that he can certainly play on the outside. Targeted him a few times last week, had a couple of drops, but playing well here early.
Some trouble with the snap to get it off, and that was not ready from the get-go. Ben Johnson with the catch.
Yeah, that looked like a busted play from the very beginning. Silvers just tried to make a little something out of it, chicken salad as they say, and ends up with a little bit of a bad snap. It looked like the center maybe even thought that he was under center. It should be noted Dylan Day, the normal starting center, was hurt in the first half last week in their game, so Kirk Barron is the normal backup, number 73. They did have a few problems on Thursday when we were at practice with the snap, so that'll be something to watch here as the game moves along.
Well, he and Silvers are roommates, so you think they'll have a little better communication. Whistles the blue before the snap. This may be Seattle taking off early.
Delay of game. Offense. Yard penalty. Still second down.
It's a delay of game instead.
Hey,
Slows down their momentum just a little bit.
we got corner.
But this is a situation, if you're Silvers, you can't let it get to you. You've got a drive that's going well.
Yeah, and now they've got themselves in what feels like field goal range. I know this side of this stadium has been a bit of a kicker's graveyard, if you will, trying to kick to this north end zone. But you've got a couple of chances here to get half of this back, maybe convert.
Kenneth Farrell tries to bounce it outside, can't go anywhere. Tavares McFadden right there, lead him along with Marcellus Branch.
This is when, as a quarterback, now it's 3rd and long, you cannot force this ball, you cannot take a sack. You in theory could potentially be in field goal range, but right now what I'm thinking about is how do I get a better opportunity for my field goal kicker? How do I get 7 or 8 yards? I'm not trying to move the chains here. I've got to make a great decision, frame the ball up, get all the way to the 25, maybe even 22-yard line, make this an easier field goal attempt.
As of now, it's about a 48-yard kick in the swirling wind. Silvers with time. Oh, just missed his receiver, Reynolds. Had a chance.
Got to put it on him. Reynolds ran a great route. He's open. He has created space there. Silvers had the time necessary to get that ball into the backfield, and he just missed him there on the sideline.
So Ernesto Lacayo comes on. Didn't have an attempt at all last week. We'll try this one from 48 yards. The hold is good. The kick is wide left. The winds are swirling down there, but you may have played it too much. Not even close. So the best offensive possession for the Dragons all day long still ends up with no points. Well, the Seattle Dragons defense created a bit of an identity here. An interception, and you put on the ski mask, you get a sack, you get the ski mask. Not quite sure exactly what it means. I'm sure we'll find out as it goes on.
That's right.
4 possessions, they've got 2 sacks and an interception. And so Mark Trestman has to find something to get going for Taylor Cornelius in this Vipers offense.
Yeah, Taylor Cornelius, 3 possessions, 27 total yards, an INT, 1 first down. Flowers had 3 first downs and 30 total yards on his 1 possession. A little surprise Cornelius is still in the game.
There's Smith, he's going off to him. And Smith will pick up about 4 yards on that run.
You know, it's one thing if you've got some rhythm established, but to me, you're playing them both early to see who has the hot hand, see who can move the offense. That was pretty clearly Flowers. They were able to stay on schedule. He used his feet a couple of times. We'll see if Cornelius can establish some rhythm and try to get himself going here throwing the football. So far, Cornelius only 2 of 6 for 9 yards and a pick.
Yeah, and you thought if he had an advantage, it would be his ability to throw it. Little pitch out to Devian Smith. Cuts it down to the side. And Smith going to be stopped right at the 45-yard line. Talk about Cornelius. I mean, when he was in college at Oklahoma State, only started 1 year, but he put up some big numbers there.
Yeah, I mean, that offense was so conducive to great quarterback play, and Cornelius sat behind Mason Rudolph for a couple of years, got his chance, and then had a big year.
Smith again spinning his way in. Looks like he got enough for the first. He did.
I really like Smith. You know, he just has a good feel for how to run the football. From Michigan, he was a guy who ran for a lot of yards for the Michigan Wolverines, was the starting running back when they played that overtime thriller against Ohio State that Ohio State ultimately won. But he's a good back with good vision and good patience. I thought you saw both of those traits on that last run moving the chains.
Yeah, spent some time with the Miami Dolphins. Here comes the blitz. Reese Horn into Dragon territory. Biggest pass play of the day for the Vipers so far, 17 yards.
Yeah, nice little, it's either a play action or an RPO here, but Cornelius, he's got that little route right behind the linebackers. I love what Reese Horn did. Do you see him just settle down? He didn't run through that zone. He settled down, gave the wide receiver, gave the quarterback his numbers, and that's an easy completion for Cornelius, who needed it badly.
To the 33 of Seattle. Off the play fake. Nick Truesdale, the tight end, runs it to his own man, keeps going, gets the first and more. All the way down to the 15-yard line. I don't know if you call that second effort if you hit your own guy, but whatever it is, it worked.
That's right. He did have a little collision with Jordan McRae. That was the center, number 63. Truesdale, I think, is their best offensive player. What a skilled position player he is. 6'5", 250. He's 29 years old, out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Great tight end, good hands, and you see the running ability, the yards after the catch. Huge success there on that last play, and now Tampa Bay's got a little something cooking on this series.
Last 2 pass plays, gains of 17 and then 18. Smith slips the tackle. And it seems as though the Vipers now have momentum. And this is certainly different from what they had last week, or at least they hope it will be.
Well, the red zone struggles last week were apparent.
Right.
4 possessions, 2 turnovers on downs, 1 field goal, 1 interception. They just could not get anything going down here. We'll see if they've got it fixed here in time for week 2.
Cornelius pulls it down, and he's pulled down. Fought his way back to the line of scrimmage, but these Seattle fans know defense, and they like that.
Seattle now, they've had some success on 3rd down with these pressures, in particular the secondary pressures off the edge on 3rd down. And we'll see if they do it again.
Crowd gets loud on 3rd down. Truesdale. Nowhere to go. Good open field tackle. There's that man, Jeremy Clark.
Not sure about that play call. You know, the screen is made for an aggressive defensive play call. You invite them upfield, then you dump it over the top. That was soft zone coverage from Seattle. They set back on 3rd down. That means that their eyes are in the backfield and they can recognize and react to everything. Clark wasn't fooled by any of that little delay, and he's able to step up and make the play.
Andrew Franks, who scored the only points last week for the Vipers, on to try this one from 36 yards away. It's true. First points of the ball game with 2 minutes, 33 seconds to go in the first half. Andrew Franks puts the Vipers on top, 3-0. Well, it seems as though this Seattle crowd, you know, you see them during the Seahawks games. You know, Brock Hewitt, you live in this town, how much they like their defensive football. It seems as though they're responding to this Dragons defense today.
Yeah, they got the fan in the Ring of Honor here in this stadium because of just the voice and the role it has played through the years. I mean, this is chaos. I've asked a bunch of these Tampa players on the sideline, when was the last time you've been in noise like this? Right? A lot of these guys, you got to point way back to their college experience in some of the big venues. It's rocking. Kurt, you've been here for NFC Championship games as well. It doesn't take a 68,000 seat crowd to really rock this place. The acoustics here, it is loud, it is playing a role, and you're seeing, I think, both quarterbacks really impacted by the noise.
Yeah, it is impressive because also I think there's an identity that Seattle fans like for the rest of the country to know. You know, people talk about who's got the best sports fans. There's an argument always to be made. They're great fans in a lot of different places, but it seems as though Seattle fans embrace the cold, the rain, and using that as part of their identity as a home field advantage.
Yeah, and it's also called caffeine.
There's a lot of that in this town that's available. That kick, another XFL rule. The kickoffs must drop between the 20 and the goal line.
Illegal
if
free
it's
kick.
Short.
Kicking team. The ball must advance beyond the 20-yard line in the air. By rule, the ball will be spotted 15 yards beyond the spot of the kick. First down, Seattle.
So basically, referee Trey Blake explained it. That ball comes all the way out to the Tampa Bay 45-yard line. The kicking team's 45.
This is one of the most punitive things right now in these little tweaks for the rules, is the fact that that's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the kick if the ball either goes out of bounds or goes short of the 20. And so now Seattle with a great opportunity starting this drive on the plus 45-yard line.
So after you get the field goal, a big mistake by Franks sets up Kenneth Farrell on first down, pushing the pile. Look at that. What a run by Farrell. Gain of 8.
This is another thing that the faithful here love is strong running. They got a large dose of that for a lot of years with Marshawn Lynch pushing the pile, extra yardage, and they certainly appreciate that last run by Farrell here. But again, Seattle's got to capitalize on this. Getting the ball, this is basically like getting an interception or a turnover from your defense and setting that ball on the plus 45-yard line.
2-minute warning. And Seattle still has 2 timeouts as well, so a prime opportunity for Brandon Silvers and the Dragons. All right, Seattle has the ball at the 2-minute warning, and Joel, with these rules, they should have plenty of time.
Yeah, I mean, this is a total non-factor. 2-minute warning, clock change, plays ending inbounds, a run of the football, anything completion in the middle of the field. Game clock will stop until the ball is spotted, and then it'll restart once that play clock gets to 20. If it's a play that normally stops the clock, then it normally stops the clock, as you would expect.
And they've got 2 timeouts as well. Speaking of 2, 72. XFL gets the first. So here you'll see on the running play that the clock will stop. Ball spotter, who's an official out there wearing a red hat, only out there to spot the ball, puts the ball down, play clock winds. Once it gets to 20, the game clock starts again.
Yeah, and so you just have tons of time. You know, this is all normal offense. Certainly with the field position that they have, they're not even concerned with the clock at this point.
What it does, it gives you more of a chance to come back if you're down and not use as much clock. There's XFL, and you're able to run the football without concern as well.
You know, Brock, this Tampa Bay defense has been very aggressive, and Seattle has not been able to capitalize on hitting them on a big play or a side adjust when they pressure. I'm sure Jerry Glanville's going to continue to be aggressive. Jim Zorn's got to dial something up.
He said they worked on it all week. When they run that blitz the formation like this is looking like right now, they need to check and hit their shots.
Flag down. Somebody moved early.
Yeah, it looked like Connor Hamlet, number 89.
Hamlet goes out of the game. Local kid from Meadowdale High School right outside Seattle.
They're asking Tampa right now whether they want the 10-second runoff.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down. Seattle will use their first charge timeout at half to avoid a 10-second runoff. And the clock will start on the snap.
Called on the right tackle, Quintarius Eatman, and you mentioned you have the option to either have the 10-second runoff, or if you have a timeout left, you can use the timeout and save the 10 seconds.
Well, first it goes to Tampa,
right,
is what I'm saying. For Tampa then has the option, do you want the 10-second runoff or not? They say, yeah, we want the 10-second runoff. Then Seattle has to make a choice. Do we want to call a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff or not? So that's kind of the logistics there on that play.
Here we go, Silvers. Trey Williams and a good open field tackle again. Nikita Whitlock. This defensive front for the Vipers playing well.
Yeah, Nikita Whitlock is such a good player. He's just undersized. He's only about 5'10", 5'11". He's 250 pounds, but he's got good quickness. He played for Jerry Glanville with the CFL and the Canadian Football League with the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the last couple of years. And they said that to a man throughout this team, they said Nikita Whitlock is our dude on defense, and he makes a great play there.
Yeah, his name was the one that kept coming up. Here on 3rd down. Silvers going deep. Got a man, Reynolds, they can't connect. Robert Priester on the coverage.
That was a long throw that he tried to make. Far side, all the way down the field, trying to throw that ball upwards of 50 yards. Reynolds has a step. It's a good route, but this has got to be way up there. You see Tampa Bay trying to cut a route. The safety goes over the top, but that ball severely underthrown and towards the inside.
So this drive, which started at the 45 of Tampa, ends at the 40 of Tampa. So they gain 5 yards on the drive.
Timeout. Seattle, their 2nd and final of the half. 30-second timeout.
So Tampa used a timeout because they're saying, hey, there's just under a minute left. We've still got 1 timeout, and the rules inside 2 minutes will allow us to move the football.
That's right. And, you know, this punt is important because if this goes into the end zone, then it comes all the way out to the 35. If it goes out of bounds, it goes all the way out to the 35. So the execution on this punt is so important. Brock Miller is the guy out there, and he has got to put some air under this and make sure that this lands in the field of play. And the other tweak to the rule is that nobody on the punt team can leave the line of scrimmage until that ball is kicked. So they can only go at least 1 yard down the field before that ball is kicked. So these gunners on the outside, they just have to shuffle in towards the football and kind of stay where they're at. got to kind of stay like this. He's going to shuffle, and then he'll take off down the field once that ball is kicked.
So Dante Dye standing at his 10-yard line for Tampa. Left-footed punt over his head, but it dies right there. Great job on the punt by Brock Miller. That's about as good as it gets. There's a couple of guys, KJ Wright, Cam Chancellor, who know a thing or two about defense in the stadium. Seahawks legends.
Man, how good was that defense? I mean, when they were that Super Bowl Legion of Boom defense was, because remember, I believe it was Super Bowl 48, and Denver came in. They had scored the most points in the history of the NFL in a single season. Manning was flying high, and that defense just absolutely shut them down
from the get-go. Remember, it was a bad snap on the first place for a safety, and it was over. It was over. Here's the handoff, Patrick. For a 6-yard gain.
There's a lot of time with only 42 seconds yet because of the way that the clock works, but not if you're just going to mill around after a run play, because that ball's going to get spotted, then the play clock's going to start, and then that clock is going to start. Now you've got to snap that football now, so it looks like they're just going to try to bleed this out with a 3-0 lead. And trying to milk the last few seconds of this out.
Deep in their own territory, deciding apparently not to take any chances. You begin to wonder as Patrick fights his way out across the first down marker, but inside 20 seconds. As we go into the second half, might we see Quentin Flowers a little bit more? He only played one series at quarterback. The guy was the dual threat.
He had a good series. Cornelius had a couple of good series there at the end, but Flowers certainly gave him a different dynamic, didn't he? And certainly was something that made it seem a bit easier because of the threat of Flowers' feet running the football. Cornelius certainly doesn't give you that. It looks like they're just going to go ahead and head into halftime with that lead, and Seattle's going to have to make some adjustments on that offensive side. They've had a couple of short fields and have been able to do nothing in order to get points.
But also credit to both these defenses.
Yeah.
Both defenses have played well in this first half. So it's a 3-0 ball game. The visiting Tampa Bay Vipers on top of the hometown Seattle Dragons. Let's get it down to Brock Hewitt, who's standing by.
Yeah, to the guy that always looks good in shades, Coach Glanville. That is a pretty good first half of play, a shutout. What stood out?
Well, the players just play so hard, and they're doing everything mentally they have to do. As you saw, we had a defensive tackle on the screen, played it to perfection. I'm like you. I'm just watching a heck of a group play. I got nothing to do with it. The players are after them, but it's just a halftime. We got to stay after.
You know what's fun is all these offensive guys got all these long calls: red, right, tight, close, C left, sprint left, and then you just say BTF.
Yeah, we don't call much. We say the deal, or we say the choice, or we say BTF. We don't call any defenses. That's too complicated.
Keep it simple. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Jerry Glanville has been one of the great defensive and special teams minds in football since the mid-1960s, and he's got it going right now. His Vipers pitching a shutout. Both teams playing well defensively. 3-0. Vipers on top. Hey, halftime's only 10 minutes, so don't go anywhere. The XFL on Fox is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Back here in Seattle, where the visiting Vipers, led by Jerry Glanville's defense, pitched a shutout in the first half, but Seattle's defense looking pretty strong themselves. 3-0 is the count here as we welcome you to the broadcast booth at halftime. And pre-kick, before the kickoff, my man Joel Klatt. I'm not going to wear a jacket. I'm a tough guy. I'm from Colorado. What happened to you, huh?
No.
It got a little cool here, didn't
it got a little cool. I mean, you've even got the hand warmers going,
exactly.
So ready to go.
The temperatures have gotten cold, but these defenses have heated up.
Yeah, they really have, and I've loved the aggressive nature of both of these defenses. We've seen Seattle blitz a little bit. We've seen Tampa, obviously, with their pressure package, have success. The offenses have to adjust, Kurt. They've got to do one thing, and they got to do it quickly. One, you've got to find a way to get the ball out of your hand as a quarterback quarterback over the middle of the field quickly. That side adjust from a tight end or a slot receiver, they both need to start going that direction. Maybe some backs for Seattle out of the backfield against that man coverage of Tampa Bay. Look for those adjustments in the second half.
All right, there's already one game in the books here on this Saturday of week 2 of the XFL season, and we saw a shutout go on in that one. The DC Defenders, led by head coach Kev Hamilton and quarterback Cardell Jones, they dominated.
This was a beautiful throw here. Watch this. Drops it right over the top to DeAndre Tompkins. Boom. He gets that. Then McGloin had a terrible day. Just a terrible day. He had another pick. He had a pick right there. Matt Elam in the second quarter, third quarter, second interception. This one, Kurt, returned all the way for a touchdown as Jameer Thurman puts the score at 18-0. They would go on to finish it off here with a nice little rollout from Cardell. Look at the touch he puts right over to Derek Hayward. 6-yard touchdown. DC would go on and win a big one with a good shutout, and that's what Seattle's trying to avoid right now. So they're making the adjustments in at halftime in order to avoid that shutout.
All right, second half coming your way. Just a couple of minutes on the clock. Halftime's faster here. The action will be 2 as we get you ready for the second half of Vipers and the Dragons here in week 2 of the XFL on Fox. Was the progressive game flow. Dragons fans, those are your guys you saw in the Dragon outfits?
There they are, the Dragon costumes. You gotta love it. The Dragon faithful need their offense to do a little something. Only 31 yards on the ground, 41 total yards, only 10 yards throwing the football. This Vipers defense is unique, it's aggressive, and they certainly have made life difficult on Brandon Silvers and this Dragons offense. Brock, you're with Brandon. What's going down?
Yeah, what was the conversation at halftime? Some of the adjustments.
Plays. Starts with me. I haven't made enough plays today, and we just got to get our first down of the opening drive and see what happens.
We know you missed some days this week with the ankle. Is that bothering you?
No, I'm good to go. I just got to make plays.
How about any of their pressure looks? It looks like they're showing their all-out blitz at times. What adjustment do you make to that?
Yeah, they're bringing everyone, and we just got to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers and score touchdowns.
Okay, good luck in the second half. Joel, you know this. Sometimes it just takes one. We saw that with P.J. Walker a week ago. They started fast. He hit the go route. They just got to get into rhythm.
Yep, there's no doubt. Rhythm can be elusive, but it can just take one thing, Kurt. A first down, like he said, and he stressed it in that first answer. We just need to go out and get one first down. Sometimes it can be as easy as that to settle everybody down, get into rhythm, and then you can get into the flow of your offense.
All right, Silvers told us what went on in their locker room. Let's take a peek to Mark Trestman and what he said to his Viper team.
Defense, you having fun?
Sir.
You got the start. You're starting. Let's get it rolling, okay? Get that ball back. Offense, keep pressing it. We'll keep pounding it. We're going to knock here pretty quick. All right, just stay on it. Get a break and let's roll.
Here we go. Keep doing it, defense.
I'm sure his defense is having fun. Gave up only 41 yards in that first half, and as you said, only 10 passing. Andrew Frank set to kick it off, and that Viper defense will be back on the field trying to stop Seattle once again as we start the third quarter. Cole. This is John Santiago now in. On the kick return, a big return for Seattle out near midfield.
And again, Seattle have great field position. We've seen it several times today. And this offense has got to find its rhythm now and capitalize on this starting field position. It'll be the 46-yard line. With a great return from Santiago. Hit that left corner and exploded up the sideline.
You said you wanted something to happen, Brandon Silvers, to start the second half. Here's a chance.
Stretch right off. 22 zipper. On one. Ready? Hey, gap. Dad, go. Blue 80. Blue 80. Hot.
Hands it off. Clay Williams cuts it back. Running room. Good blocking downfield. And he stays on his feet all the way to the 35-yard line. Gain of 19. Longest play we've seen from Seattle all day.
What a great cut. He's going to come up and then watch him as he cuts back to the left. He just gets small right here, and then he finds the lane back to his left. Great vision, exploits out of it. Downfield, you got some great blocking by the wide receivers. That's what it takes. That's number 1, Alonzo Moore from Nebraska. Played his college football in Nebraska. And he gets a nice block down the field.
Yeah, hey, Georgia. Kill. Set, go.
Hand it off. Williams again, bouncing it outside. Around the corner. Flags go flying as he's out near that first down marker.
Well, I just praised this guy in the last play, and now he's going to draw the foul. Alonzo Moore was holding on the outside. And that's where the flags flew.
Spotted there. 69. That one. All right. There are 2 flags on the play, both against the offense. Holding, offense, number 1. That penalty is declined. Holding, offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
Well, they take the one on the left guard, William Campbell. By the way, it was going to back him up.
Yeah, they take that one because it happened further
right, because it's from the spot of the foul.
Spot foul, so it takes it back further, and that really promising drive and 2 great runs from Trey Williams. They're negated as now Seattle is behind the chains, and now Silvers is going to have to do something from that backfield, get himself in rhythm and complete a ball.
2 tight ends in the game.
280.
Here comes the play. Silver gets rid of it to one of those tight ends. Tyler Hamlet. And Hamlet gets back some of those yards down to about the 32, 33-yard line.
Well, you're going to see the pressure, but here's what I was talking about. It's just a short route to the tight end. You got man coverage. Silvers hits that back foot, and the ball is out, and it's on target. That's what they needed to do to adjust to that aggressive style from Tampa Bay, and they made the adjustment. We've seen it now. That's a great play by Brandon Silvers.
Yeah, they pick up 11, so now it's a manageable second down, 2nd and 7.
Go.
Handoff, taken by Gardner. Daquan Gardner gets the first down. Best drive of the day for the Dragons.
And we've seen that now 3 times on this drive, Kurt, where we've seen that run play start to the right, and then the cutback lane is there for Jim Zorn's offense on that left side.
Taking advantage of the aggression.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Flank right. 52 Trojan, Charlie Zoe.
That to me sounds like a run play. 52 Trojan and 2 with, well, he's changing it.
Hey, 45 to Mike, you're working 31. Bingo, go.
Silvers. What's picked up towards the end zone. Broken up. Keenan Reynolds, the intended receiver, and he had a step on Micah Hanneman. That ball thrown short, and it gave Hanneman a chance to stop it.
And even a bit inside. I thought Reynolds does a nice job here. If that ball is a little further to the outside, then the defender can't come over the top, but Hanneman's able to get that left hand in there and bat it away from Reynolds because it was thrown just a bit too far to the inside of the field by Silvers.
On one. Bingo, go!
That one picked off. He threw it behind Hamlet and right into the arms of Tavares McFadden, who's down the sideline with an escort and into the end zone for the touchdown. 78 yards on the pick 6.
It almost looked like this one was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Corey Moore, number 31, was racing in on pressure. Watch here. Here's Corey Moore. He's coming on that right side of the offense, number 31. He jumps up, and it looks like that ball fluttered and then winds up in the hands of Tavares McFadden, who takes it the distance.
Tampa Bay chooses to go for a 1-point conversion from the 2-yard line.
What a play from McFadden, and astutely gets up. No one touched him down the sideline. And now Tampa is going to go for 1.
You have the choice of 1, 2, or 3 points. As you're pointing out the touchdown, going for the 2-yard line for 1 point here. Is Tampa. The pitch to Devin Smith. He won't get it. But our first touchdown of the game, and appropriately enough, In a contest that has been all about defense, it's an interception return 78 yards for a score by McFadden.
And again, it's pressure. It's the aggression of the defense that ends up making the play. McFadden takes it the distance. The Vipers defense stifling right now in Seattle. Brandon Silvers got to figure it out.
The XFL on Fox is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. First touchdown of the season for the Tampa Bay Vipers, and they're on top of Jim Zorn's Dragons 9-0. Brock Hewitt.
Defensive guy to score the first touchdown of the season for the Vipers. What was the coverage? What did he see?
Well, we finally got to play a little zone coverage where we keep our eyes on the quarterback. They threw the ball, just broke on the ball, made a play.
When did you know that was a house call?
As soon as I caught the ball. Whenever the defense get the ball in their hands, there's only one mentality, go score.
And what was any adjustments? You're pitching a shutout. What was the adjustments, if any, at half?
It wasn't really too many adjustments. We just know that we got to come out here and play. They don't score, they don't win.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
And no reason to adjust when you're pitching a shutout, right? Here's John Santiago, had a good return on the opening kickoff here in the start of the third quarter. A little more subdued this time, still across the 30-yard line. And now let's see what Brandon Silvers and the Dragons offense can do in a bigger hole.
Yeah, and you start to wonder about, you know, the quarterback decision, and the crowd here is letting Jim Zorn know how they feel. B.J. Daniels is the backup quarterback. They're familiar with him here because he's been a member of the Seattle Seahawks. He was a member of that Super Bowl 48 championship team with the Seahawks. He was also a USF guy, South Florida guy, prior to Quentin Flowers. And they're going to stick with Silvers here, but he has got to right this ship. I would imagine that this is a one-series deal here for Silvers. He either gets something going on this series, or we're going to see B.J. Daniels after this.
One thing to keep in mind, 9 points is a one-possession game here in the XFL. As you can score and go for 3 on a point after attempt as Kenneth Farrell gets a short game.
They had the run game going a bit on that previous series before the interception, and trying to get it back here for Jim Zorn. But again, this is a do-or-die series for Brandon Silvers. If he's unable to get points here, I would imagine we're going to see B.J. Daniels.
Go! Do 80, do 80, hut!
Here's Silvers to pass. Over the middle, he's got a man wide open, Keenan Reynolds, and that's the way to answer. All the way to the house. They answer a 78-yard pick six with a 68-yard touchdown pass.
This aggressive defense got caught. Jerry Glanville talks about the safety cutting routes, jumping routes. This is what happens. Watch as the safety's going to come up, and that's what allows Reynolds, as the safety comes up right there, Silver sees him, and now Reynolds is going to be behind him deep, and he lays it out in front of him. Reynolds runs underneath it, and there's the fireworks that the faithful have wanted. Silvers finally gets it going. Reynolds finds the end zone, and the Dragons have some life.
And another guy these fans are familiar with, the former Seahawk, Keenan Reynolds. Gets them into the end zone, and Silvers and the Dragons will go for 2 points here. From the 5-yard line.
Go!
Under pressure. Farrell. Nowhere to go. But the Dragons, there's a flag down on the play.
Holding, offense, number 75. That penalty is declined. The other play is a try for point was no good. Timeout.
But more importantly, Silvers and the Dragons answer the score with a score. Their first touchdown of the afternoon, 68 yards on the pass to Keenan Reynolds, and it makes it a 3-point contest.
Yeah, and the big play hurts Tampa again. That's something that hurt them last week. And Brock, we talked about that. Keenan Reynolds hit him big there.
Yeah, they had to find that explosive play, right? It finally came. What was the route? What was the play?
Oh, just a post route.
was something we saw in New York take advantage of last week, especially on the corner that was out there. And I told Coach before going in the locker room, we got to run it because we can win inside, we can win outside. We struggled early on, but we finally connected.
And you told your quarterback to just give some air, give you an opportunity.
Yeah, man, we just got to keep playing. That's part of the game. I've been a quarterback. I know how it is. He kept playing, he threw a dime, and got a touchdown.
Good luck in that second half.
All right, Keenan Reynolds was a great quarterback, running quarterback.
That's right.
But a great quarterback at Navy. Finished his career with the most touchdown runs of any player at any position in NCAA history. And his touchdown reception, now that he's a receiver in pro football, makes it a field goal difference right now. Mac Brown, the deep man. That goes off his hands, so he needs to return it. And he's in trouble. Stopped inside the 10-yard line. Well, week 2 of the XFL season continues tomorrow as the Dallas Renegades will take on the LA Wildcats. That's at 3 o'clock Eastern on ABC. And then at 6, the 1-0 St. Louis Battlehawks travel to Houston to face off against the 1-0 Roughnecks. That one's on FS1. All tomorrow for you on ABC and FS1. We saw both Los Angeles and Houston last week. P.J. Walker was the star at quarterback last week.
Yeah, he sure was, wasn't he? He was electric. Houston did a great job. And as we talked about earlier, now it's Quentin Flowers in at quarterback for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they make the change here. Damian Smith with the carry. And we wondered at the end of the first half with the way Taylor Cornelius was struggling against this Seattle defense if they didn't want to put in a guy who's a little bit more versatile at QB.
Yeah, and when you've got a guy like Quentin Flowers, what it does for Mark Trestman is it allows him to use the legs of the quarterback, and what that does is it equates the numbers, right? It takes the numbers and it puts them in your favor. Now you can block everybody because you've got the ability to run the quarterback.
He takes it. And it will be interesting to keep an eye because part of their normal rotation is to put Flowers in from time to time, but you almost sense that this is more than just a time-to-time change.
Yeah, and just because of the way that the game has played out, but you know, Flowers and Trestman was adamant about this. We want him here because he is a quarterback first, and we like the way that he throws the ball from the pocket. It's a plus that he's such a great athlete outside of the pocket. So I'm interested to see how much he throws and what type of concepts he gives him here.
Seattle showing pressure, they don't come. Broken up. Pass was intended for Tanner McAvoy, but Mohamed Cisse with the stop. And McAvoy, former Seahawk, so is Cisse. Maybe they know each other from practice a little bit with that.
Yeah, Cisse did a great job of coming over the top there of McAvoy, but that ball was thrown behind McAvoy. He really had a step, and if that ball is framed up, thrown on time and on target, Tampa's probably got a first down.
Austin Cole back deep. Coming up on the short block, calls for the fair catch, and makes it just shy of the midfield stripe. Well, these defense, both players, both sides continue to show what they can do. Only big scores have been the difference. Well, Dragon fans waving those towels, trying to get their team into the lead. Someplace they have not been all day, but it's been kind of an exciting start to this third quarter. Last 2 passes for Brandon Silver. Silver's a 78-yard touchdown that was on an interception, and a 68-yard touchdown that worked in his favor.
Oh, man. The faithful certainly liked the latter of those, and the crowd has been great today. It really has. This has been exciting. They've been into it, passionate about the Dragons already, and their first chance to root for the home team.
From the 49. Gardner picks up a couple of yards on the play. You wonder if a big pass play like that settles Silver's down.
Oh, it does. There's no doubt. It settles everybody down. Everyone takes a deep breath. But, you know, remember they've also run the ball pretty effectively over the last couple of series.
Blue 80. Hunt.
Here comes the blitz. Silver sacked. That wasn't hard. Robert Priester getting the sack for the Vipers. Jerry Glanville sending the pressure early.
Watch this. They're going to swing way around, then he's going to come on the blitz, and you got a blitz over on this side, and here they are lighting them up. Jerry Glanville is not afraid. He says, fine, you got a big play over the top. We're not going to play safe. We're going to get after it. And he comes right back after the quarterback, and he's able to get another sack.
Second sack for this Vipers defense to go with that pick six. And now it's a big third down.
Blue 80. Blue 80. Hunt.
Silvers down the sideline. Bird is open, broken up. Good recovery made by Anthula Kelly, who was beaten initially.
Silvers just threw that ball a little late. He's going to take 2 or 3 hitch steps because Bird right now is open. That ball's got to be out and in the air. But when he comes back to it, Kelly's got the chance to come back and get involved in that play. And the crowd wants a flag and probably should have gotten it. He certainly arrived a bit early there and affected Bird's ability to catch that ball.
All plays are reviewable, but pass interference is not a call that can be changed by the replay booth. And so it will fall incomplete. And we'll bring up a punt. Dye. And the special teams coverage has been good here as well, as he's dropped. Well, the greatest day in all of racing returns. The Daytona 500 kicks off the 2020 NASCAR season tomorrow. It's at 2:30 Eastern with the pre-race beginning at 1 only here on Fox. Quentin Flowers still in at quarterback.
Now you got to find what is going to be successful. Here are the numbers. Taylor Cornelius, 5'9", 42 yards in that interception. Quentin Flowers, 3 of 5 for 18 yards. But Flowers does give you that ability to be a little more diverse in the run game. And I feel like that needs to get cut loose. We've seen him hand off a bunch, but we haven't seen him get loose in the run game. That's something that I feel like they need to get more aggressive with here on this series.
Starting deep in their own territory. He hands it off on first down. Devian Smith just keeps fighting through tackles. Give him 13 yards on that run.
Yeah, this is a team that ran the ball really well last week. In fact, they were second in the XFL with nearly 150 yards.
Sink to start. Sink to start.
Okay.
Smith again. This time short pickup, maybe 2 yards. Last week he had 79 yards, which was second
nickel in
best
the
in the
game.
league on the ground.
F motion. Pistol, tight bunch left. Chill Gator, F slide, Z over. Chill Gator, F slide, Z over. Chill Gator, F slide, Z over.
Flowers from the shotgun. Movement on the right side.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Nerves and maybe a little bit of the crowd noise affecting him here.
Certainly, I think 2 things. Crowd noise, which Tressman's going to have to
F-motion,
deal
pistol,
with.
tight bunch left, chill Gator, F-slide, Z over.
And a different quarterback, different cadence. You know, those types of things. I think he's going to go with the same play here. F-slide, Z over. The F, look for the F. There's a little bit of a motion. Z, he's going to be trying to come all the way over.
They fake the pitch. Flowers. Wide open is Dan Williams, but good hands from Jeremy Clark. Right pass not high enough, and Clark, who has an interception in this game, swats it away.
Yeah, Clark does a great job. Watch here. He doesn't have a route right in his face, so he sinks back into coverage. And because that ball was thrown a little too low for Daniel Williams, he's able to get his hand on it. And we've seen Clark now a couple of times. Once on a bubble screen, go and blow up that play in the backfield. There, sink himself back into coverage. Very instinctive player, Jeremy Clark. Played this football in Michigan in college.
Long third down. Crowd gets loud. Before the snap, the clock ran out. A little pushing and shoving going on afterwards, and there go the flags. That won't help Tampa at all.
Isaiah Williams, number 71, threw a bit of a headbutt there. I wouldn't be surprised to see him ejected right here.
So we're going 5 after.
Williams, a guy who spent time with 6 different NFL teams.
Okay, we had the layup game.
And here's the call from Trey Blake.
The 2 fouls on the play. The layup game, offense, that penalty is declined. After the play, personal foul, deep offense, unnecessary roughness, number 71. That penalty is half the distance to the goal, be 3rd down.
Right there is where you see a little bit of a headbutt, maybe the lack of contact. He was mad because it's hard to hear, folks. I mean, it is loud right now in this stadium. And so he's upset, Williams is, that Flowers got bumped there at the end, and he goes in for a little bit of a headbutt there. That's where that flag came in after the delay again.
So it backs him all the way up to the 11-yard line. Intercepted and touchdown. Wow, what a play by Marcel Frazier. Defense has been the story of the day. That may be the play of the game.
Unbelievable hands from Frazier. He was basically double teamed at that point, working against Isaiah Williams, who just got that penalty called against him on the previous play, and Frazier's able to pick that ball right out of the air. They were trying to throw a screen pass, and Frazier finds it in his hands, and he's in the end zone for a score.
Blue 80. Blue 80.
Going for 2. Silvers zips that one, caught by Keelan Reynolds, and they get it. How quickly this is turned. Brock Hewitt.
Well, Joel and Kurt, you've been talking about that crowd noise and that D-line feeding off of it. Here was Marcel with the play of the game thus far. Take me into it.
The crowd was getting loud. I gave him a jab step inside, came outside. The quarterback's kind of short. He threw it low and I just jumped up and got it.
How quickly do you see that play happening before your eyes?
I seen it and he was just dropping right into me. And he threw it low and I just jumped up.
You know, they say DBs are really receivers with no hands, right? But what are defensive ends with hands like
We're
that?
athletes. We're just athletes.
Congrats, man. Great play.
Well, this has been quite the week for Marcel Frazier. Recently got his master's degree from Missouri, but hadn't seen it physically. That's right. Because he's been away from home. He went back home on the off day on Sunday, got a chance to hold it, put it up on social media, and then comes out and shows he's still a football player. Not ready to use that degree just yet.
That play was unbelievable. I mean, they're trying to set up that screen pass, and quarterbacks at home, if you're going to throw a screen pass, you've got to retreat. If you don't retreat, you have no ability to get that ball up and over that defensive lineman who is not going to be blocked in your face. And Frazier's the beneficiary there of some poor details from Tampa Bay. And he finds himself in the house.
And with a good return.
I want to take you into this, and here's the coaching points. Brock, you know about this too. You're going to throw a screen. Watch here. Flowers looks to his left, but then he stops. He's got to continue to drift. He needs to be well into the end zone, but so that he can get that ball up and over Frazier and dump into the running back Smith, who is set up for the screen. If you don't drift, Brock, that defensive lineman is just going to be right in your face.
Yeah, there's no question. And then the noise in that end zone. I mean, this place rocks. They keep track of the number of false starts in this building. No building in the NFL has created more, and it's wreaked havoc on this offense today.
Cornelius Taylor back in at quarterback. Hands it off to Darquez Patrick. But you can see why. With that noise down there and a defense that's played as well as Seattle's has today, that combination can be deadly.
We saw the snap count issue. We saw the delay of game issue. And now they're going to have to go back to Cornelius here. And Yeah, things have come off the rails a little bit for Tampa after they took that 9-0 lead.
Taylor Cornelius. Out to Nick Truesdale. We've seen each defense score on a pick six today.
Yeah, and that's the guy they need to get going. Nick Truesdale is their best offensive player.
Third down. Rushing to the line of scrimmage. Patrick gets it.
Well, there's some rhythm here now being established by the run game and finding the tight end, but that's where they need to sit. That's their biggest mismatch is Truesdale. He's not going to be in the game on this play, but Trestman's got to find the ability to get these backs out of the backfield, get his best players in one-on-one situations, and allow the quarterbacks to find them in the open field.
First and 10. Another first down and takes it into Seattle territory.
And there's the back out of the backfield like I was talking about. Trestman's finding a rhythm now, play calling.
Right, home, tight bunch right, good renegade, good renegade. Home, tight bunch right, good renegade.
Good renegade.
What's that?
Good renegade. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They picked up 18 on the last play. End around. Tolliver. And Jalen Tolliver down inside the 30-yard line.
You feel the rhythm. You call a little bit of a special play there. Good renegade, kind of an end around. Mark Trestman's feeling it a bit here on this series.
Good bull nose alert. Good bull nose.
Yeah. Third down call, guys.
Yeah. Home. Let's go. Get down.
You want to run Rolly?
After the 7-yard pickup. Two tight ends in the game. They hand it off. Jarquez Patrick met before he could even get back to the line of scrimmage. Stanley Mapanga with the stop.
I think that was another crowd noise issue. Watch as he's just going to cut inside of the tight end. The tight end is slow off the ball. The defensive end, to a point, has a better view of the football. The tight end can't hear. He gets beat inside, and he makes the play.
Now dealing with the noise in this end of the field. Cornelius throws it short. Dan Williams caught it.
That is a catch. Good job, Dan.
What a catch from Dan Williams. That was not a great throw. Cornelius shorts him, and it's way too far outside. Does he corral that? That's control. The ball can hit the ground. He controlled that all the way through. I think that's an excellent call. Remember, it can touch the ground as long as you control the football the entire time. Williams displayed that control in my estimation, and that's a great completion for Tampa Bay.
And it looks like they're going to give replay a chance to look at this.
Rule on the field is a completed catch. The ruling on the field is a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
We'll give you a chance to take a look inside the replay booth.
Shot of it.
Salim Chowdhury, the replay official.
Trey, you there?
I'm with you.
So, ruling was a completed catch, correct?
Yes, the ruling on the field is a completed catch.
The ball does hit the ground, but I don't see anything that's going to make me overturn this. I don't see a loss of control at all. So, you know, it was tight enough we wanted to take an extra look at it, but we're just going to stick with the ruling on the field. Completed catch.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands?
Yes.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
How cool is that?
I love the transparency. We've also have our rules analyst, Dean Blandino, back in LA that we can talk with. Dean, excellent look into that replay system and the overall process, and they executed it beautifully.
Yeah, it was great to hear Salim Chowdhury, the replay official, talk us through what he was looking at and actually saying, look, the ball hit the ground, but I don't see a loss of control. It's going to stand. It's just, it's a lot of insight, and it's great to be able to watch the process unfold.
We appreciate it. It's Quentin Flowers back in the game. And I think one of the things about the replay booth, you take a look at it, and even if you disagree with the call, you understand why it was made. You don't have a question afterwards.
There's also another element, I think, Kurt, that's really important. It humanizes the decision, and fans can realize that these guys have no vendetta against my team or anything. They're trying to do the best that they can. They're talking through it based on the rules that they're given. And I think that's a great process to go through for the fans at home as well.
All right, so Flowers now enters a change of pace. He keeps it. Seattle not fooled at all. Credit Channing dribbling, but he had a couple of buddies there in blue with him.
Okay, now I'm going to be the old guy shouting at the clouds, because if I'm a quarterback, you know, I get it that you're going to give us a series here and a series there, but now they're trying to do within the series. Cornelius in, Flowers in. Now Cornelius had established a rhythm. Now he's got to come in after sitting on the sideline for 2 plays and try to complete a 3rd down ball on 3rd and 6. This is very difficult to do. I'm not a huge fan of this whole philosophy.
So now Cornelius back in, zips that one high, and it's caught. Good enough for the 1st down. Reese Horn with the catch. And that'll take us to the end of the 1st quarter, or into the 3rd quarter. It's been an exciting one. It was 3-0 at halftime. We got a couple of defensive scores in the 3rd quarter and another big 68-yard touchdown. So both teams coming alive. And we got a pretty good football game as we head to the final stanza. 14-9, the hometown Dragons on top. Ready for the start of the 4th quarter. Kurt Menefee, Joel Clapbrock, Heward, our entire Fox crew here with you in Seattle. The hometown Dragons up 14-9. And really, if you tune into halftime, you got the excitement.
That's right. That's right. It came alive in that 3rd quarter, in particular from the Seattle standpoint. Some sloppiness from the turnovers and the points off of turnovers, but the offense is finding some rhythm, and now the Vipers find themselves in the red zone. This is where they have struggled so much this season. They've had 22 snaps of the football so far this year inside the red zone and gained 2 yards. They've scored 2 field goals, 1 turnover, 2 lost on downs. They have not scored an offensive touchdown yet in their season, so they need to turn that around quickly.
Yeah, today with a field goal and a defensive pick 6 for their touchdown. And that may be over as Jacquez Patrick keeps on fighting. He's going to be stopped just short of the goal line. But what a run by Patrick. They're on 1st down. Nice pickup to the 1.
Listen to this collision. Oh, Jordan Martin. You better bring your lunch pail. How about that? Patrick lowers the boom. Patrick played his college football at Florida State and showed up in the defensive backfield angry on that run, taking it all the way down inside the 1.
13 yards on the run. 1st and goal. This time, Patrick won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Kyle Cairo along with Will Sutton there to stop him.
Great push from that defensive line. And they gave themselves a bit of breathing room there defensively, as that one's going to go for a loss of about 2.
The big Will Sutton, 2-time All-American at Arizona State.
Over 300 pounds in the middle of that defensive line. This is where he's got to be at his best.
6 linemen, 2 tight ends. You think they want to run it? Patrick tripped up in the backfield. Won't get there. This time it's Durant Miles coming and getting his hand on his foot.
Miles does a great job here. This is a tough block for the center. The center's trying to get over here and reach that defensive tackle, and he's just going to shoot the gap over to his right, and he gets in there and just trips up Patrick before he gets any momentum going at that goal line, and they're able to get him down to the ground.
14th play of this drive. Seattle calls the timeout.
Timeout, Seattle. their first charge time out of the half.
All right, how will the Vipers deal with the noise at this end of the end zone?
Well, this is when you're down there third and more. You can just go on first sound. You know, take the cadence out of the equation. See, listen in and see what they're talking about in this huddle.
Yes, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Okay. All right, we're going to change the call. Listen up. Come on in here. Come on in here. Listen up. We're going to Motown. We're going to Motown. We're going home tight bunch right Rolly. Home tight bunch right Rolly. Motown. Home tight bunch right Rolly. Roll pass right.
Roll pass right. Roll is the code word. Roll pass right. Tight bunch, roll pass right. He's going to be coming out right away. You're going to get one of these receivers into the flat as quickly as you can.
Rolling right out of the backfield. Patrick, he can't hold it in. The pass sort of bit behind him, and it'll bring up fourth down.
He had him wide open. He had the option. He could have gone to the back, or he could have gone to the tight end who was in the back of the corner of the end zone. A wide receiver, that was 17, Jalen Tolliver. That ball has got to be on the frame. That is an impossible catch for the running back to jump up behind him to the right shoulder and try to catch that ball. It's got to be out in front on that front side.
So they'll try and get a little closer. Andrew Franks, the former Miami Dolphin kicker. High snap, bobble. Nowhere to go. They get no points. Nick Moore, the long snapper, snapped that one way too high, and it was trouble from the beginning.
It was a bit high, but I got to tell you, Shum's got to bring that one in. It's just over his head, and he's unable to bring that as a holder. I know that's a tough hold, but Zorn's got to love it. His defense again in the red zone, bows its neck, prevents points from going up on the board, and the Vipers so frustrated again, shoot themselves in the foot when they get the ball into scoring position.
You know, this was the stadium that happened to Tony Romo.
That's right, second into the field, if I'm not mistaken.
There he was. There's Trey Williams on first down.
I'll say that the snap for Tony was better than the snap that Shum just tried to deal with there.
There's Shum. And another frustrating possession for the Vipers, who still haven't scored an offensive touchdown.
Yeah, and Brock, he didn't get a chance to kick that, but you've talked about this all week.
Yeah.
That north end zone is just a graveyard for kicking.
Yeah, I think Tony Romo will tell you that was a slick kicker ball in the day, too.
There's no doubt.
Of course you're going to say that no matter what happens, right?
Yeah, it is remarkable, guys, down here. I spent a bunch of time in this end zone. There's field suites. They are packed with people. Right above it, you've got people further packed. I've said it a number of times, just the noise reverberating in this building, right? It is why it's one of the toughest to play in the NFL. And you're just seeing it today. What an advantage for this XFL team, for these Dragons, to really activate the 30,000 in here today.
Yeah, and you're so familiar, Brock. You know, you live up here. You played at UW. You're on radio here. I mean, this is a place that you're so familiar with, and it's doing what it always does.
Jaquan Gardner, and if you look at the two mistakes that Tampa had the last couple of possessions here, it's been in that end.
Yeah,
it was the pick six, you know, right at the goal line with the noise, and then the bad snap.
And that's got to be frustrating. You know, if on the sideline, this is, and Brock, you know this as a quarterback. Cornelius is over there just sick to his stomach because he knows he had a touchdown. Shum's obviously feeling sick to his stomach, but Cornelius knows he had a touchdown right in front of him if he frames that ball.
You called it perfectly. The game just sped up on him in that really big moment.
Here's the pitch to Trey Williams. Short pickup.
Interested to see if Jim Zorn gets a little aggressive here on third down.
Playing with a lead now. Maybe a little bit more so than he was early on in the ball game.
clatter.
21-8.
Check flat. Stand strong.
Hank clatter is what I heard.
He's right there. Go. Ram. Blue 80. Blue 80. Hot.
Here's Silvers. Miscommunication. Austin Prohl, there is a flag way back in the secondary.
He was held at the top of that route.
Robert Priester looking a bit guilty.
Priester 21.
Pass
Watch him grab.
interference. Defense, number 21. Ball replaced at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Right when Prohl's trying to come out of his break, right here, there's the grab, clearly prevents him from getting back. That was supposed to just kind of break and slide back into the inside. Silvers does a great job anticipating. Priester grabs Prohl. Prohl can't slide back on the inside. That's an excellent call by the official, and good momentum starter for Seattle on that drive. After two really good plays for the Vipers on first and second down, there's a cheap first down that they get because of the penalty.
Yeah, big 14-yard penalty, but more importantly, a first down. From the 40.
80. Up.
Trey Williams tries to cut it back and does inside. That's a nice 4.5-yard pickup.
I really like Trey Williams a lot. Trey Williams is a talented back, played his college football at Texas A&M, and he's a guy that catches it really well out of the backfield. He's explosive, and you see right there, he's got a great burst. When he stopped, his first couple of steps, he's almost to full speed. He was stopped, and then he finds a seam, and bang, he gets you positive yardage here and creates a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys bounced around 6 different teams. Just wonder about his size, listed at 5'8". If you stand beside him, that's a basketball 5'8". Here's Kenneth Farrell, another one of those running backs. Boy, they're interchangeable. Farrell doing the job here on the 12-yard gain.
And we've seen this cutback time and time again. It happens because the backside linebacker flows too hard. The backside linebacker flows too hard. Now you get to cut back, and the running back has got to press the front side, get that overflow from the back end linebacker, and then he cuts back. They've done a beautiful job of that several times today. Every Dragons running back has had that afforded to him, and he's exploited it from time to time.
To the Viper 43.
Bingo, bingo, go!
Farrell again, cuts it back, dancing. Give him maybe 5 yards on that run.
Brock, they've got to be happy with how they're running the football. You're standing right next to Jim Zorn. He's got to be feeling his offensive line right now.
There's no question, Joel. And I'll tell you one other little nuance. Do you notice how much they're shifting and trading?
Yes.
Right, that whole blitz the formation. It's a lot harder when you're just not a sitting target. Really good adjustment here in the second half.
That's a great point.
These are two of the best rushing teams in week 1. And they're showing it here, particularly in the second half. Trey Williams gets stopped at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Let's see the play call here.
All right, I want to go double right, 32 ace, shingle, find. Double right, 32 ace, shingle, find.
Is he asking Brock Hewitt for advice? I mean, Brock's right there.
Well, you know, Brock played for Coach Zorn when they were both with Seattle here, so they've got a great relationship. 32 ace is the protection. Shingle find is the concept.
Bingo, bingo, go!
Over the middle of the field, the intended receiver, Austin Prohl, but good coverage by Micah Hanneman.
Oh, he has him dead to rights right there. Hanneman is bailed out by a poor trajectory from Silvers. Watch if Silvers just puts this ball over the top. All he's got to do is loft that straight down the middle of the field, give some touch, and Prohl's going to run for a touchdown. That's why Prohl was kind of upset right there. Trajectory is such an important part of the playing the position, and he missed it there.
High punt. Another good job. Because keep in mind, there's a flag down on the play. If that goes into the end zone, it's brought back out to the 35. Right now, it's spotted inside the 2, but let's see what the penalty is.
Let's go!
Miller.
Remember now, you can't run down the field before the kick.
Come on!
Trey Blake having discussions with that Vipers sideline, so it leads you to believe it's against
Legal
Seattle.
substitution. defense. That penalty has declined. The zone to play would be first down, Tampa Bay.
Okay, so it wasn't. So it'll be first down, way back in their own territory for Taylor Cornelius and the Vipers.
Seattle Electric for the Dragons, 14-9, under 7 to go. Jim, we talked right before the kick about what this stadium could be. What have you felt?
Oh, this is just like any other Seattle home game, right? We got some great fans. We got to hold them here, force them to punt, and then we got to control the ball for these last 5 or 6 minutes.
How do you finish?
My game plan right now, because it is exciting.
Awesome, enjoy it.
And the crowd's into it with the ball at the 2-yard line to start this possession. Taylor Cornelius from his end zone. Going up top. Overthrows everybody, incomplete. And with the score 14-9, Brock, for those that like the under in a game like this, they're feeling pretty good right now.
they're feeling good, very good. And by the way, Tampa was favored by 1.5 points. So those of you that maybe live next to Brock, right, Brock? Your neighbors that took Seattle, they're feeling good, huh?
Yeah, I think Coach Zorn was trying to figure out how many more run plays. Right, these call sheets are not enormous, especially early in the season. How they finish this thing out, running the ball, a huge key.
They need a defensive stop here first. Underneath, Tanner McAvoy, nowhere to run. Surrounded by 3 defenders, but he got enough for the first down.
Such an important first down to get out of the shadow of your own end zone. And Cornelius there is able to find McAvoy for an easy completion.
11 yards in the first. A little breathing room away from that crowd as well. Cornelius up top again. Overthrows Jones. Incomplete. It's the second time they've tried that on this drive. They must see something in the matchup with Jones on that side.
Well, he's got a one-on-one, and they feel like he can beat Cisse, and Jones has done it a couple of times in this Vipers offense. They're still trying to find their identity. 19 possessions so far on the season. They have yet to get into the end zone, and they're continuing to try to find who are their go-to guys, what are their best concepts, and it is certainly a work in progress.
Yeah, they've got a field goal and defensive touchdown. Seattle has a defensive touchdown along with a big 68-yard score on offense, while Nick Truesdale will get that catch.
That's the guy they have to feature, is Nick Truesdale. He's the most talented offensive player that they have. He presents the most issues for the defense, and they've got to continue to attack him with that tight end.
And they come out quickly. Nice spin for the first down. Jacques Patrick, who's kind of been the bell cow here in the second half.
Yeah, and he's got a little thump to him. He weighs 235 pounds, and they're on a short yardage situation. He's able to get right up the field and move the chains.
Across the 25. Again, Patrick with a big hole that time. Running room after, and he's out near midfield.
A great run. Does Trustman get aggressive here? Little play action pass.
Fonzie right. Good steer, Z Rambo. Good steer. Good steer.
Good steer.
Longest run for either team, 21 yards on that.
25 minutes.
This time, they'll get Smith in it and run back. Smith going to fall forward for a couple.
We kicking your ass. We kicking your ass.
I'm laughing because of the microphones. That's all I'll say. Good commentary going on the field.
Jordan McRae, the center, mic'd up, as well as the quarterback, Taylor Cornelius.
51
Empty backfield. Cornelius. Incomplete.
Couldn't step into that throw because he had pressure at his feet. coverage. He's trying to go out to the out route, but right there
stands in Mapanga.
Can't step into it. It was late, and it's an incompletion. And here on third down.
Is this that part of the field where it's four downs no matter what?
It's close. It's close. There's Truesdale, top of the screen, tight end.
Here comes the pressure. Cornelius. Once again going for Jones, and once again incomplete.
We got to kick it. We got to punt it. All right, let's go. Let's go take a time. Yeah, let's do that. Timeout. Timeout.
You could hear the indecision from Mark Trestman, so wants to settle down and have a talk about it.
Yeah, that's a good call to call that timeout. Any indecision, you've got to take a second and think about it.
First of the half.
2 minutes, 50 seconds left. Can Trestman and the Vipers take the lead? We'll find out.
That's our best call. That's our best call. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Listen up, listen up. It's going to be dribble right, fake 63, ex-Milwaukee wide branch, ex-Milwaukee wide branch.
He's trying to get his tight end in one-on-one coverage. I've said all game, Nick Truesdale is their best offensive player. He wants him in a one-on-one situation, and it looks like he has him in a one-on-one situation. Here we go.
In the slot to the top. Cornelius can't get rid of it as he is brought down for the stop. Jordan Thompson, number 99, ends that drive.
Look as all the defensive players are stood up, and then at the last moment, Thompson, he's going to hit the center, and then the center disengages. Jordan McRae there makes a mistake. He's got to stay on that block. Cornelius gets the pressure right in his face. He's got no chance. Thompson is there to get the sack, and this Seattle Dragons defense with Clayton Lopez pulling the strings as the defensive coordinator up in the box have played just a tremendous game.
Yeah, that's their fourth sack of the game. They've also got an interception for scores. Kenneth Farrell takes it on first down. Nice gain of 12 yards on the run. And this is where the Vipers need their defense to come through.
That's right, and the run game for Seattle has got to be big. Remember now, it's not your normal 2:25, 2:24. At the 2-minute warning, we're going to change to the 2-minute warning clock rules, and it's very tough to just bleed the clock out. So Tampa's likely going to get another possession. Seattle's got to be thinking points here, not just drain the clock, but points on the scoreboard as well.
Well, field goal would keep it a one-score game. A touchdown would make it a two-score contest.
2 minutes, hey, 2 minutes.
Jaquan Gardner, gain of 4. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left. The Dragons trying to put it away. The Vipers, whose defense has played so well all day long, hoping they can get one more stop so they can get the ball back and do what the Dragons defense did on that last possession.
Hey, 4 down, 841. Hurry!
That's the way, that's the way, that's the way to go cover.
Go, go, go!
Those of you watching at home and the just under 30,000 assembled here in Seattle have had a good game, particularly in this second half. As we reach the 2-minute warning, the hometown Dragons up 14-9, trying to steal this away. The Vipers trying to keep it a one-score game if they can get a stop or a field goal here. Inside 2 minutes, Trey Williams, and he is stopped by Nikita Whitlock. The rules will change just a little bit. They're flags with all the extra pushing afterwards. Marcellus Branch laid a big hit while Whitlock had him wrapped up.
I wonder if the penalty was actually for the hit by Branch. See how as he came in with his head lowered towards the head of the ball carrier.
Personal foul, illegal use of the helmet. Defense, number 35, for leading with the crown of the helmet. Penalty is half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
That's exactly what it is. Obviously a crucial penalty at this point of the ball game.
Huge penalty, and right here as he's going in, boom, he uses that crown of the helmet, lowers it right to the head of the running back. Excellent call by the official as Branch initiated with that dip in the crown of the helmet contact.
Part of it is instinct, but Whitlock already had him wrapped up, so it wasn't even really needed for the tackle. But it's hard to legislate instinct out of the game. You know not to lower that helmet.
Just got to go lower and to the side. Lead shoulder first, shoulder first. That's what the defensive players have got to tell themselves and be coached from now on. Go lower, shoulder first to the side.
So after the penalty, they get it all straightened out. Ball's now at the 13-yard line. And again, the Vipers still have a chance here. They've got one timeout, and the clock stops a lot more inside 2 minutes, as we have explained. If they can hold Seattle to a field goal, they've still got a chance.
That's right.
Set, go!
Kenneth Farrell stopped in the backfield. That'll help.
Looks like Mark Trestman runs down and takes a timeout.
Timeout, Tampa. That's the final of the half. 30-second timeout.
You know, this is going to come down. This is going to come down to Brandon Silver's ability to make a throw, right? If you're going to ice the game, they're not going to. I don't think they're going to be able to just run it because Tampa's clearly going to just sell out for the run. Brock at some point, and Jim Zorn's done a marvelous job of getting the run game going, finding that offensive line rhythm. But here, at some point, they're going to have to let Silvers throw the ball.
Well, I asked him how many different run concepts, Joel. He said about 8. And I think we've seen every one of them. Now, he can formation, and he can change the picture a little bit pre-snap. But you're right. Now, here's the other challenge is have we seen a completion on the move from Silvers today?
No, we have
not.
not.
I mean, that ankle, he says it's fine. It's limited him all week. I've been watching. He's been challenged to throw on the move, which is what you love to do down here. So I think it also limits what you can do in the play-action game.
Yeah, and those of you thinking, why in the world would they throw and stop the clock? Remember, it doesn't stop the clock for long. The clock would continue to run. So that's why I say at some point, Jerry Glanville's defense is going to see Silvers drop back and try to make a play through the air.
Yeah, and I would also say, Joel, this is where you miss Casey Williams, your big receiver. You're going to get a one-on-one. Is this going to be Alonzo Moore? Will it eventually, be some other your little receivers? You got to find that one-on-one matchup too.
They hand it off. Jaquan Gardner. So that stops the clock temporarily. Once they spot it, 5 seconds will run off, and then the play clock will begin again.
No, I'm saying it was Tampa. But I know you can't Texas it, but it's going to be a run. You know what I'm saying?
Lucas Walker expecting that run.
52 Pirate on go, ready?
This is a run. 52 Pirate over that right side.
Trey Williams in at running back.
Bingo, go!
They hand it to him. And he is stopped. 4th down decision here. I mean, you got to kick it.
Yeah, got to kick it. Make it what would that make it?
8-point game. So touchdown and 2-point conversion, or touchdown and 3 points if you want to gamble.
3 would win it, and 2 would obviously tie it if Tampa could go down the field. But they have not. They've yet to score an offensive touchdown this season. So Jim Zorn's got to feel good about his chances at this point.
First things first, Ernesto Lacayo on from 27 yards out. Drifting just inside the upright, and the lead is now 8 with 1 minute, 2 seconds left.
Just snuck in that right side, like you said. And that was all about that offensive line and that run game, setting them up, bleeding some clock, getting points on the board.
All right, when we are done, PBC Boxing comes your way with Brian Kenny. What's up, Brian?
Brian Kenny here. We're in Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. And right after the XFL, it's PBC Fight Night on Fox. Hometown champ Caleb Plant defending his IBF super middleweight title against German contender Vincent Feigenbutz. Right after the XFL. Let's go to Kurt Menefee.
All right, thanks a lot, Brian. 1 minute, 2 seconds on the game clock from PBC Boxing. So now the challenge, this Seattle defense, they've stood tall all day long. Sacks, turnovers, whatever has been needed. They need to make one more stop of this Vipers offense to get that first win of the season. Out across the 30-yard line. So decent starting field position for the Vipers.
All right, 55 seconds left. Clock stopping after every play, even in the middle of the field. It'll start again after the play clock goes down to 20, but that leaves you a lot of time here. Taylor Cornelius has the ability to work any part of the field, which also means that that tight end is a threat. And I've been talking about it all day long, but Nick Truesdale is certainly their best player. Daniel Williams on the outside, 81. We want him in one-on-one situations as well.
Cornelius rolling and looking. That one almost intercepted. Kyle Caro got a hand on it, but it falls incomplete.
And that little bit of pressure spooked Cornelius, and Tressman's got to find something again. Tampa has yet to score an offensive touchdown on the season, and they desperately want one here.
This is where you go back, just like week 1, to the miscues. They have the missed field goal, which was on a bot snap. They throw a pick 6, and that's 10 points right there in a game that you're down by 8.
And had another red zone possession as well.
With time, Cornelius connects. That's Dan Williams, gave up the first down, got it back. Their penalty mark is down as well. And another flag comes flying late.
Yep, this is going to be a crackback block. Watch here, 24 right there, bang. He's got to approach from the front.
It's Devian Smith, the running back. There's another flag that came flying in late. We'll see if that was an additional second penalty.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block. Offense, number 24. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay second down.
I mean, just penalties we've seen from Tampa. Remember that pick 6. Part of that was the fact that there was a personal foul right before that play. It set them up, you know, right in the shadow of their own goal line, and the mistakes now in each of the first 2 weeks for the Vipers.
I mean, this is just like last week. They've outgained Seattle, yet they're down on the scoreboard because of the miscues. Down to the final 40 seconds. Cornelius underneath, Reese Horn gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Remember, they need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to try and tie this thing.
And because of that, on the defensive side, those safeties, deeper than the deepest, wider than the widest, you cannot allow yourself to get beat deep. They're also going to have a linebacker in the middle of the field. He's going to be taking off right down the middle of the field most of the time right there.
Cornelius caught in the middle of the field. DeAndre Goolsby. And Goolsby gets the first down. More importantly, they get the chains moving. The clock stops for a bit. Now they need to hurry up.
Yeah, and they'll be ready to snap this ball before that game clock starts again.
11 yards, and there you see it only cost them 2 seconds because of the clock stoppage. Damian Smith out in backfield, another first down. He's into Seattle territory.
This is the clock rules at its best right here. Work the middle of the field, work the middle of the field, then be ready to snap it before that game clock starts. They're ready again.
Beaver, 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 Beaver!
Yeah, they can snap it before those 5 seconds are off if they want. That cost them 1 second on the game clock. Wide open. Once again, Reese Horn.
Great catch by Reese Horn. Middle of the field has been open the entire series because of that prevent style of defense.
Gain of 22 to the 24. Oh, he just missed Damian Smith.
Now you got to start thinking about how many snaps that you have left. With 9 seconds left, I think you can probably get 2 snaps out of this. You just got to be ready right away to snap the ball. Let's see what he goes with.
There is a flag down.
We got 2 shots
in
here.
the secondary here after the play was over.
All right, listen to me. Taylor. Taylor.
Taylor.
This will be interesting to say the least.
Double left. 79 yoga, double go. You got it?
There's no foul for illegal substitution. Result of the play is an incomplete pass. It'll be second down.
So it's a flag down there that they will pick up. So down to 9 seconds. Ball at the 24-yard line. Down by 8. Officials come running in to stop it before the ball is snapped.
The previous play is under further review for a possible infraction for illegal substitution.
All right, this is one of those things that goes up to the replay booth.
The defense was trying to run some people on. We'll take a listen in here.
Trey.
Are we looking at defense?
Trey.
Yes.
Okay, we got 12.
Okay, so we have illegal substitution on defense.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to go 5 yards from the previous spot.
Previous spot. Let me pull this up, please. Previous spot was the 23 left hash.
23 left hash, so we're 5 yards from the 23 left hash.
Right.
All right, thank you.
That's Salim Chowdhury talking with Trey Blake, the referee. Chowdhury, the replay
After
official.
further review, there were 12 players in formation during the last play. Illegal substitution, defense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, would be second down.
All right, so obviously this helped Tampa.
Yeah, huge there for Tampa. They're going to have 2 shots at this. All right, 9 seconds left. Clock's going to stop. He's going to stay with the play call, I believe. He says double go yoga. Both outside receivers be running go routes. Inside receiver, he's going to be running a read route right down the middle of the field. This read route's probably going to end up right about here.
Going from the 18-yard line. They need to snap this. Cornelius towards the end zone. Flags flying. Williams caught it. Touchdown, Tampa. Unless it's an offensive penalty.
It looked like Williams pushed off there in order to get
Pass
the
interference. Offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Now it's 1 shot, 4 seconds left. Williams definitely extended here. Watching the back of the end zone. 2 hands on his back. Definitely pushes off Jeremy Clark in order to get the room necessary to get that ball and bring it in. And now Cornelius has to throw it into the end zone. This is it. 4 seconds.
From the 28-yard line. This is the ball game. Cornelius. Towards the end zone. Intercepted. Game over. Kyle Cairo finishes it off. However, there is a flag.
Offense, number 71. That penalty is declined.
It won't matter. It's offensive holding until the game will end on another interception. And once again, this game has been all about defense all day long, and it finishes with the defense making the stop and sealing the victory.
There's all the Dragons lined up deep in their own territory on the goal line. Cornelius is trying to buy some time. He's trying to fit this into the back of the end zone. Cairo is right there, and the Dragons defense again with a great play. Cornelius had that great series right down the field, gave themselves a chance, but ultimately it's Coach Jim Zorn and the Seattle Dragons who are going to win their home opener.
Well, it feels like every game in this stadium goes down to the wire.
Good game. Good game.
Every game in the stadium seems to go down to the wire. No different today.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Just nerve-wracking at the end, huh? But our fans were great. They support us. They yell when they need to. And our players were resilient. Even though we were behind, we came back to win. I can't believe it. I don't even know what happened yet.
What did you learn about your team tonight?
Just that they came to play the whole game, and that's what we talked about last week. We never gave up last week. It was very intense at the end, and I just learned that our players are willing to finish. Right? They're willing to finish. We got to do a little bit better job of not having 12. Everybody wants to play, so we have 12 guys on the field too many times.
You're in this ring of honor for your 20,000 yards you threw for, yet you ran the ball and you played defense today.
Yeah, we our game plan was really. It was solid. It was sound. Our defense is stellar, and we shut them down. Gave us a chance to keep the ball. Our running backs, all three of those guys were just carrying it well, and I can't think enough about our offensive line, blocking. So, I'm just kind of in a daze right now, just thinking about how intense this game was.
You wanted this opportunity. I've known you for a long time. You wanted to coach again. You were not done coaching. You wanted the chance to coach. 30,000 came out to support you. What are you feeling?
Oh, I just feel very. I'm humbled by so many people coming out to watch us. But they saw a great game. They saw great effort. They're going to get to know some of these players now. Our coaching staff does a great job in preparation. Couldn't be more excited.
Congratulations on win number 1. Kurt and Joel?
Well, he did it with defense. They got 4 sacks, 3 interceptions, including a pick 6, and win number 1 in franchise history for the Dragons. Back to wrap things up here in Seattle right after this. And so XFL Saturday number 2 is in the books. Tomorrow on Sunday, the Dallas Renegades and LA Wildcats will face off starting 3 o'clock Eastern time over on ABC. Meanwhile on FS1, we'll have the undefeated St. Louis Battlehawks against the undefeated Houston Roughnecks. That starts at 6 p.m. And hopefully the crowd is as entertained as the one was here in Seattle. Just under 30,000, and the hometown team won 17-9. Joel Platt in a game that we saw really good defense from both sides of the football.
We really did. I thought this game really comes down to 3 things if you're watching at home. The first was the run game. We had 3 running backs for Seattle, each get over 10 carries. They had 31 carries on the day for 117 yards. That was great. Keenan Reynolds, a great leader, played at Navy. He jump-started it with a huge touchdown. And then if you had Seattle in the under, you're a winner, baby.
You certainly are. All right, that does it for us here. Seattle gets the victory, scoring the final 17 points of the game, and they win at 17-9. They cover, and the under wins. Seattle's now 1-0 on the young season. BBC Boxing comes your way next. For Joel Klatt, Brock Heward, and all of our Fox XFL crew, I'm Kurt Menefee saying so long from Seattle. Catch the game tomorrow on FS1. We will see you on Fox next Saturday.